Hello, hello, hello. I am Gepwin, and it is Friday, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for Free App Friday, where I go through and find free games that are worth your time on the iPad. Some of them work on the iPhone, but I have an iPad, so that's where I test them. This week, it's some interesting things. First, though, I want to apologize for not having an episode out last week. Thanksgiving was a bit weird, and putting out a video the day after Thanksgiving was almost impossible, as I got home from Thanksgiving dinner something around 6 in the morning. So, was way too tired to put out a video. I apologize. I'm going to try to keep it going through the weirdness that is the holiday break, so keep checking back. There's going to be a couple of gaps here and there, but I'll try to keep it out every Friday from here on out. So, first game this week is a very interesting one, a very weird one called Space Chicks. This is not safe for work. Probably don't let your kids play this. It's not dirty per se, but it deals with some weird content in the text. No, there's no actual dialogue or anything in the game, and it's a platformer, so it's not as apparent until you start reading the little text boxes that pop up at the bottom, and they say some fairly odd things. So maybe don't let your kids play it, or maybe if they can't read, but they'll probably pick it up. So the basic idea of Space Chicks is you're an astronaut rescuing women from these planets. They call them chicks. I know there's some not very feministy things in this game, but it's still a little fun. So you're rescuing women from these planets, and the planets themselves are the platform. So you run around the planet in a circle, you jump off at whatever angle you need to be to get to the next planet. It's all about playing with the gravity of the planets in order to get to where you need to go. More so about your jumping angles and avoiding enemies than it is about landing on platforms. So I call it a platformer because it's the only thing I can think of that fits the description, but it's not really. And then in between are some teeny little bonus levels where you fly a spaceship and collect coins that you can use to buy upgrades for later levels. It's just as run as far as you can, rescue as many people before you die kind of game. I found it fun and interesting. I definitely recommend at least giving it a try, but again, some not safe for work stuff in there, so keep that in mind. Next up is The Silent Age. I love this game. It is technically The Silent Age Episode 1. They are doing more episodes, I'll get to that in a minute. But The Silent Age is an amazing point-and-click adventure. I loved it. I loved playing through it. Puzzles are interesting. It has a very, very cool mechanic in dealing with time travel. You can switch between the present and the near future, and it changes the way the levels work. For instance, you can do something that prevents a plant from growing and blocking a place that you need to get to, or you can interact with something in the past that will then affect stuff in the future when you change times. Really interesting idea for a point-and-click adventure. They need to do more point-and-clicks on the iPad. The thing was pretty much made for them. So I love that this company is doing it. Very kind of old school, really weird point-and-click logic. Love it all. The other thing that I like with this particular project is they put out the first episode for free. And then if they like it, they are asking for donations for funds to make the next episodes. So they're not demanding money, they're not trying to nickel and dime you with microtransactions. It's a very simple thing of if you enjoyed this and would like more episodes, then you can donate. But if you don't donate, you can play the next episodes anyway. So I think that's a very nice model for getting funding. I hope it works out for them. I would recommend playing it. If you like it, consider donating. I think it's a very nice, non-restrictive way of gaining funds. So many games have annoying microtransactions try to bully you for money. This one I find so refreshing that I want to donate just because it's a refreshing change of pace. Finally, something near and dear to my heart, Doctor Who. Doctor Who came out with a free iPad game for their 50th anniversary. This is Doctor Who Legacy. It is a gym-matching fighting game, which is one of my favorite genres of puzzle games. Puzzle Quest, Galactic, Puzzle Quest 2, I have all of them, I play all of them. One of my favorite genres of game on my favorite show franchise. It was a definite win for me. Anyway, I'm a bit of a Doctor Who fanboy, so this game was a must-have for me, but it's free anyway, so even if you're slightly interested, you can try it. It's your standard kind of gym-matching Bejeweled style game where you match 3. The gems that you have, depending on what color you match, they let your characters attack and fight enemies. It's pretty basic. It has a very interesting mechanic in it where you can move the gem across as many rows or columns as you would like, and it displaces gems along the way. So you can use that to get multiple sets of 3 or 4 or even 5 more easily, and your characters can do things that manipulate the gems themselves, change their color, remove some. The enemies can change color of gems and remove gems. So I always think that's more interesting than just your standard puzzle game. I love puzzle fighting RPGs. My only complaint with Doctor Who Legacy is it does have some pay stuff. You don't have to pay, but it's that annoying thing where there's another currency that you can earn. Thankfully, this currency is not as rare as some, but it's still rare enough to be a little frustrating. But it's mostly cosmetic stuff. Also, some of the out-of-battle systems are not particularly well explained. Leveling up your characters and organizing your teams and where to even level up the Doctor himself is not very well explained. You kind of have to search around in the menus. The menus are named weird things. Like, I appreciate there being a menu called the TARDIS, but it doesn't make any sense to be called that for what you're doing in it. Honestly, they could have just called it your character menu. It really didn't need to go quite so far. It does get a little bit confusing in the UI, but other than that, I love the game. I'm several hours in, and I haven't even gotten through the first season that they've organized it into, and I haven't even unlocked the next set of levels, so huge game. They plan to keep updating it. There is an update coming out that is going to make some of the character drops less rare. Right now, people are complaining that it's hard to get characters. I've seen that happen. I've only unlocked one of the characters past the starter tier. They are going to address that in the future update. As of recording, there's no word on exactly when that update is going to be. So just to sum up, the games this week that I enjoyed were Space Chicks Weird Platformer, The Silent Age Episode 1, really amazing point-and-click adventure. I hope they do more point-and-clicks, and Doctor Who Legacy, the really awesome Doctor Who-inspired puzzle game that is the puzzle fighting genre that I hold so dear to my heart. They need to make way more of those. I love the genre, I've played all of them, and I very much enjoy it. If you very much enjoy the show, I hope that you will like or subscribe, email me, contact me on Twitter, do any of those fun things. I leave my comments on because I'm not popular enough to be getting comment spam, so leave a comment if you have Google Plus working. Any of those things. So, until next week, I hope you enjoyed these games. I will bring you more next Friday. I am Gepwin, and I will see you soon.